Okay, here we go. Now, I just subscribed to Alpha Male Wisdom, and his channel is a black man's channel. I can't quite understand what is. Is it an Itmore channel? Is it just a black man's channel? I can't really understand what the hell it is. But I do believe he's a motivational speaker, or he says he's a motivational speaker. But be that as it may. Now, I just subscribed to him like today, and I went through some of his content, and yeah, there's some stuff I agree with it and some stuff that I don't. It's kind of like a mixed bag. And I get the notice, and up pops, guess what? Another anti-Mgtow video, especially an anti-black Mgtow video. And the video is Mgtow must do more than only talk, which seems like it's another finger-wagging Mgtow video. And another one lately that has been done by the black manosphere. It seems like all of a sudden the black manosphere has discovered Mgtow. And so now we have these series of shaming videos that are coming out. Now, normally the brother, he's a professional. Normally he does his research because he's fairly well read. So I booted up the video expecting to find out what his arguments were and figure out whether there was a counter to them or where there was an opposite argument to them. So I'm geeked up because I haven't put any Mgtow content on my Mgtow channel for quite a while. And the Mgtows were kind of busting my balls about leaving the channel. So this looked like a good opportunity to actually get back in and get my feet wet again with Mgtow content. So I'm looking for a good rambunctious debate because I think I thought this brother had his facts together and he was actually going to give some insight, some good arguments. Maybe this is just part one and he's going to do a part two, but I'm going to tell you, brother, if this is all you got, I'm sorely disappointed. I mean, really, I am sorely disappointed. But since I'm getting my feet wet, let us start with a good old-fashioned Black Gnostic call and response video. Now, it was a 9-minute video, and I was trying to find clips. Normally, I put in the whole video, but the brother kind of rambled and mixed a lot of things up, and he didn't really make points for the most of the video. So I found basically 3 clips that I can actually debate about. So I'm going to play the first one.
Here's one of the reasons why I say Mgtow for the black man. For the black man. I know it's new to the white man, but for the black man, it needs to be more than just don't get married and fuck every female you can. Don't get married and fuck every female you can is great for you to tell young dudes because majority of the pregnancies that happen to a black man in his life is before he turns 28. So I totally agree. Mgtow is great for that, which is why you have a lot of young people in Mgtow who don't know the history of where Mgtow came from, other than Wikipedia, which is the wrong place for you to look for it, and don't really have any historical knowledge on half of the stuff that they say. But that isn't to put them down. It's just to say you really should get educated beyond Paul Elam. Make sure you look beyond Paul Elam and get educated in what you're doing. Make sure you look beyond Sandman and get educated on what you're talking about. Because a lot of times, I think what hurts Mgtow so much is that it does not expound on its 2 talking points, beyond its 2 talking points, which is no marriage and pump and dump.
Okay, right off the bat, he's wrong. He claims he's done his research, or deep research, and he understands what Mgtow is, and right off the bat, he acts like he doesn't get it. He's actually mixing up Mgtow with pickup artists. Now, there is some crossover with pickup artists and Mgtow. Pickup artists, especially in their younger years, do not believe in marriage. Pickup artists also believe in pump and dump. Mgtows don't believe in pump and dump. What Mgtows say, the 2 tenets of Mgtow is don't get married and don't have children. It is not to go out and have sex with every woman that you can find. In fact, Mgtow's counsel against it because pump and dump exposes you to rape charges and sexual assault charges, and it needlessly puts women at the center. Remember, pump and dump means putting women at the center because you're trying to have sex with a lot of women. Mgtow always says put yourself first and protect yourself from the state. Most Mgtows like a steady friends with benefits arrangement with a trusted and vetted female. All the old timers will tell you that. Even Sandman will tell you that. Sandman, if you listen to Sandman's channel, he never talks about pump and dump. He always counsels against it. If you listen to Stardust and you listen to the early Barbar or Barbarossa, they always tell you to avoid that. So right off the bat, he gets things wrong. Now he mentions that most men, black men especially before they're of age of 28, are the times that they get women pregnant or have babies out of wedlock, even though 48% of men don't have any children. And there's another 30%, 35% that are married. So I don't know where he gets this most men from. There's a very small percentage of men that are actually getting women pregnant out of wedlock. But those are facts. Mgtow counsels against having sex with a whole lot of women for that very reason, that you open up yourself to that risk of having children out of wedlock. So right off the bat, the dude is wrong. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. But let us go on to the next clip.
A lot of times you'll get people who will say more than no marriage and pump and dump, but they're just going to reword the same thing in a different way. They're going to say, don't participate in the system. No marriage. Same thing. They're going to say, use these females for sex. Pump and dump. Same thing. And again, it gets crazy because you try to say to the guys, shouldn't you be more about going back to men's rights? Because you got to remember, Mgtow is a breakoff. It did not originate men's rights. Men's rights originated Mgtow because some of the people in men's rights got frustrated and they felt they would do, now I know this is going to be a blast for everybody, they felt they would do what Hugh Hefner was already doing. Hugh Hefner called it the playboy life. These guys decided to call it men going their own way. Same exact thing. Matter of fact, next video I'm going to make, and let this be a prelude for that discussion. What's the difference in behavior? The difference in behavior. The difference in behavior between Mgtow and a playboy. What's the difference between a playboy and a Mgtow in how they operate, their ideology? Pretty much the same. It's going to be 80% the same. And all these guys did was take Hugh Hefner's idea, and Hugh Hefner got it from somewhere else. And I'm going to talk about that in a different video. But this is why you research stuff and you don't make these grandiose assumptions. You come to YouTube and you heard Sandman say something or Mgtow 101 and you think that's it. That's all I need to know. No, you always need to go further. You always need to go further and check out stuff. So
now, let's get to this. This is one thing he said that was right, that Mgtow was a splinter group from the MRA, and that the folks that formed Mgtow, the men that formed Mgtow, did get impatient and did disagree with Paul Elam and the men's rights movement because the strategy that they were employing was not effective. And basically it still isn't, because the men's rights movement started way before Paul Elam. Men's rights movement basically started in their late 70s and early 80s. And the biggest part of the men's rights movement, the most popular part, happened to be the Promise Keepers back in the 90s and the early 2000s. But all of those weren't effective strategies against feminists. Those tactics were all carrot and all compromise to get women and the state to see men as human, which they were under no incentive or no inclination to do. The laws just got worse. So the splinter group of Mgtow decided to do what? Add a stick to it. And here's something that will blow alpha male wisdom's mind. There's an old story called Bartleby the Scrivener. And Bartleby confounded his boss by refusing to work, by merely saying, I prefer not to. And Bartleby was willing to accept the consequences of starvation and death. And why the story is so memorable and so strong is because there is no defense against somebody that prefers not to comply with what the state's wishes are. A very simple to the point strategy that anybody can employ that's extremely effective. The state and society only functions when people come together and participate. If people don't participate, then the state and the society will fall. And that is the stick that the MRM didn't have before. So no, Mgtow don't necessarily need to go back to the MRA or the MRM because those are failed strategies. Even Paul Elam is starting to adopt Mgtow strategies because guess what? They are effective. Mgtow has gone from basically 5 people to hundreds of thousands of people because the strategy is so simple. And anybody that's done mathematics knows that the simple equation is the most elegant and the most foolproof. Now, the gobbledygook that he talks about Hugh Hefner and the playboy lifestyle is more akin to pickup artists. Again, mixing up pickup artists with Mgtow. The playboy lifestyle is more about the seduction of females. Mgtow looks at women as a necessary evil, especially for young men, that should be handled with caution and not embraced. Ultimately, the Mgtow lifestyle, if you really wanted to live it fully, wouldn't have very many women in it at all. And the only women that would be in your life are those that have been vetted and are functional and that would help you. That is not Hugh Hefner. Hugh Hefner is into the harem lifestyle. Now, harems have been around for about 3,000 or 4,000 years, maybe even longer. So you are correct that what Hugh Hefner does is not new. What Hugh Hefner is doing and has done in the playboy lifestyle is what black pimps have done and had done for 100 years before Hugh Hefner was ever born. So 80% of what Mgtow does is not the playboy lifestyle. But let us continue.
And so the reason for me making all this is to let you know that historically and research wise, there are things that precede Mgtow. And the only thing that has changed is the MRA situation. MRAs are changing laws a bit by bit. Mgtow is doing something the Zolot Club did way back in the 1800s. It's the same thing. The Boston Bachelor Club, same thing. Hugh Hefner's Playboy, same thing. And the reason why I keep saying same thing is because, yes, you can, as an individual, change your lifestyle, and it has an immediate effect, which is something everybody is talking about. I think Obsidian said that too. It has an immediate effect, yes, which is great. And it's really something you should have known as a teenager, but, it's unfortunate we didn't get that information like we should have. Most guys growing up around single moms, they ain't gonna get that information. But once you have that information about put you as a male first, it stops you from having this whole you gotta uplift the woman. You gotta uplift the woman. Everybody's a queen. Every woman on the earth is a queen. Nah, because now that's making those human beings, I'm talking about the women, feel like they can do anything they want to these dumbass dudes. And they gonna keep appeasing them. Can't do that. So this is a setup for the conversation I'm going to end up having on Obsidian Radio to just give researched information, because a lot of times I said people only have YouTube research, Wikipedia research. It goes beyond that, and you got to really start looking beyond YouTube, Pew Research, and Wikipedia. There's more info. There's actual books out there that have been written before Pew Research was thought of, YouTube was thought of, and Wikipedia was thought of. There's actual paper information, So check out for the next video I'm gonna do regarding the Mgtow thing.
Now, you listen to the guy talking about the only thing that has changed is the MRA situation from the time of bachelorhood. It doesn't include the Industrial Revolution or the digital revolution or the internet itself that allows people to actually communicate. Mgtow as a movement, or Mgtow as a philosophy, could not have existed before YouTube. You couldn't have all these people in this space talking and sharing stories, which is the power of Mgtow. Very little has changed is not true. The whole environment has changed. Mgtow is documenting that change. We talk about culture. We talk about marriage. We talk about gynocentrism. We talk about how evolutionary biology might play into what women do and how the state responds. All these theories have been thrown around for about 5 years in Mgtow. And you do less than a cursory glance and less than a scratch and think that you know what Mgtow is and what its problems are. Mgtow's major problem is that it's new. Because of the medium, because of the environment, it's never been done before. Like you and everybody else who's a critic of Mgtow that don't understand it is because you don't factor it in. It's like saying farming has never changed for 4,000 years when before 4,000 years ago you had a wooden plow that was hauled by people, or at best cows, and then tried to, or I should say compare it to a $400,000 John Deere harvester that's about 3 stories tall, that replaces about 300 people in the work that it does. Environments change, tactics change. Even bachelorhood has changed because the environment has changed, just like the women have changed. Feminism could not have existed 300 years ago, not possible. Why does it exist now? Because the environment has changed, and that's what Mgtow documents. And I am sorely disappointed that a brother of your intellect will come on YouTube and do such a piss poor job of doing it. If you read the books, the least you can do is go on the internet and actually research Mgtow and listen to the doggone video. You got hundreds of thousands of Mgtow videos on YouTube. You have lots of black Mgtows that you can reach out to. If you don't like it, you can go to my channel. I got about 140 Mgtow videos of all different types, and they can point you to what Mgtow is about. Anyway, this is just a short response. I got to run. I got to go do some stuff. This is for my Mgtow brothers and my Ibmore brothers. So with that, I'm out of here. This is BGS out.